but Emerson gonna clear Mayato. Not gonna go low. He's gonna try and fake the 48. Travato using the inside lane. Mayato now up half a groove. The second position looks for his first race. And hard contact. Mayato up in the air, up on the hood, on top of the Geico machine. All over his back bumper. Gonna have to be very tactical with his moves. Oh, and hard under braking. Travato nearly locked it up there. St. Barrett, big slide out of turn number 1. Comes Chris Samar, Kevin Cornelius. They're going to make a charge in the third lane. Is it too little, too late? Are they going to have the run out of turn number 4? Mark Emerson down low. They're all going to wreck. Dennis Fairclough in the lead right now. Here comes Nick Gardner. Hello and welcome to the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series live tonight from the Texas Motor Speedway for the Shenandoah Shine 225 Race 2 of Season 4 here in the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series. We want to thank you for joining us here on V-Speed. My name is Adam Baker. I'm here with Zach Halpern. Zach, how's it going?
I'm doing great, Adam. How are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. I'm looking forward to some 1.5 mile racing here tonight in the Lone Star State. As drivers here wrapping up the practice session, we've seen some pretty quick lap times and some pretty good racing action already. Going to be quite a bit different from last week at the Super Speedway. What are you kind of expecting out here tonight, Zach?
Well, I know a lot of these drivers are still unfamiliar with Texas as a track. Ever since they changed the layout and how the new update is, it feels like drivers struggle here a lot more. And the racing has gotten a little bit more spread out, I feel. Like it's congested, but it's also spread out at the same time. It's hard to explain. But I'll be expecting a lot of tight racing tonight and also probably a couple wrecks.
Yeah, definitely going to be aiming for that bottom lane here, and that could lead to some stack-ups. The way that they've changed the banking around this racetrack, it's definitely harder to navigate. And with this aero package being so aero-dependent, we will see guys really diving it in there, trying to get the clean air on the nose. And, yeah, I think that could lead to some accidents. But they will have time to figure things out throughout this race. 150 laps. That is 225 miles, a pretty good length race here in this series. The stage break coming at lap 50, and the winner of the stage will get a playoff point. So it is just the first car to cross the line will get that point. Nobody else getting any bonus points in the stages here with the new rules. And that is going to give some drivers incentive to go up there and really race for that lead in the early stages of this thing. As we are wrapping up the practice session, cars slamming into the wall. And we are headed to qualifying. Again, do want to thank the sponsor tonight, Shenandoah Shine, for coming on board and sponsoring the series as well as tonight's race. And so happy to have those guys here. And a bunch of their drivers in the race as well. As qualifying has now begun, they'll have 5 minutes to put a lap time in and then 5 minutes for the drivers meeting. So we're taking a look here. Chris Samard getting up to speed onto the back stretch. What do you think the tactic is here for these qualifying laps?
I'm not sure with how this setup is. Normally what I do is first lap tends to be a little quicker depending on how your tires are. Sometimes with this new package, you need the warm tires to make sure you get a good lap in there. But with a place like Texas, your tires can wear very quickly, and you might want to get that first lap in as quick as possible. I think we'll be seeing a lot of drivers running the high line at first, and then the second lap running that low line, trying to warm them up a little bit.
As we see Chris Samard here on his first flyer, he is running a little bit higher than I think the preferred racing group, trying to get that momentum up through 3 and 4. Two kind of lap time is showing there. Should be able to go pretty much flat out on lap number 2. We'll go on board with him here. A little lift down into 1 and 2. That is due to the nature of that banking. being so flat through there compared to the old racetrack. Down the backstretch straight as an arrow. Chris currently 5th out of 6 drivers. Alan Dice atop the leaderboard right now, but there goes Keith Mayato. Not a surprise to see Keith up there in qualifying. As now Cody Adkins jumps to the top, and then Samard back up to 5th position with a 30.062. About a 10th off of Nick Starling, who's now moved to the top in the number 2 Trash Panda Racing machine. And there goes Zach Carr to the top. And the Carr Racing Designs number 27, as he's going to hit the outside wall on his cooldown. Brett Sommers getting up to speed here. 17th quick right now in the number 7. Anthony Pelican now to the top of the board, the Dialed In Racing number 99. And we got a bit of mixed field up here at the front. We're not used to seeing some of these guys qualify like this, but put to the floor can lead to, you know, some drivers putting in really fast lap times like at the super speedways. They can get a good handle on their race car. And looking at Reggie Ortega, he currently sits 21st, so probably not where he wants to be. And still yet to top the 99 is anyone else in the field. AJ Stravato on the track right now was not able to go any faster than 16th quick. Yeah, so this will be interesting.
And I definitely think that qualifying this year compared to other years is going to be much more important, considering we have 37 cars in the field tonight, it looks like. And starting in the back is not going to be the same as it used to be with how large the field is.
Yeah, and the aero dependency really affects you the farther back you get. More dirty air, you know, just compounding in front of you. And so some of these drivers like Seth Hatchell, who currently sits 36th, and put in, it looks like a purposefully slow time. It's an interesting call. He'll roll off towards the rear of the field. Joshua Abbey goes 35th fast as he looks to improve here on lap number 2. And I'm just going to pull up some of the information about tonight's race in terms of tires and fuel. See if we can get some info on that. 65% fuel load tonight. They'll only have 3 additional sets of tires for 150 laps. So we'll see some tire strategy throughout the race tonight, which will really throw a curveball at us at times. As Jeremiah Vincent now to the top of the board at 29.90. That is 17 thousandths faster than Anthony Pelican. Joshua Abbey now goes top 10. Angelo Ronis brings it down the pit lane, and nobody else on track. So that should pretty well do it. Looks like Jeremiah Vincent could get the pole time here tonight. So that should that'll help him out in his drive to get a victory here in the Cup Series in the Below the Double Yellow Racing League. Should be rolling off in front. 5 minutes now ticking over, so we're going to head to a commercial break while these guys go to the drivers' meeting. We will be right back.
The most challenging issue veterans face is reintegrating back into civilian life. This is increasingly hard with combat veterans that have witnessed the brutal environments of war. The issues they face include the sense of not having a purpose, the lack of camaraderie, and no longer being on a team. Adrenaline Therapy's mission is to bring veterans out of their element and introduce them to the fun and relaxation of the off-road. This is a way to help make these veterans feel a part of something again. This is what we call adrenaline therapy. In doing so, our goal is to help eliminate the 22-a-day epidemic of veteran suicide. Learn more by visiting outlawdesertracing.com/adrenaline therapy.
Watch your Element sign reading weekly on Sailor Tarot Magic's YouTube to answer all of your love and career questions. Call to schedule your personal reading at 732-314-0777.
All right, back at the racetrack now, and it looks like Jeremiah Vincent will be the pole sitter for tonight's race. So we're going to start running through your field and see if we can get this out of the way. Big field here tonight. We don't want to miss anybody before we take the green flag. So let's see what we can do here. We can pull these guys up. And we can indeed. Jeremiah Vincent going to be the pole sitter here tonight from the Texas Motor Speedway. He had a great race here in this league, not last season, but the one before, where he nearly won the race, ended up second behind AJ Stravato. He's rolling off from the front here tonight. Anthony Pelican going to be starting from the second position. Rolling off third, it'll be Zach Carr. Alex Pelican starting in the fourth position. Rolling off from fifth here tonight, it'll be Nick Starling. Timmy Emanuele starting in sixth. Seventh is going to be Ryan Gemmel. Eighth, Safe Ferris. Ninth, Bradley Wilson. And rounding out the top 10, Joshua Abbey.
Starting in 11th tonight will be Cody Atkins, and 12th will be Keith Mayato. 13th, Brett Sommers. 14th, James Loveland. 15th, Nick Gardner. 16th, Clint Leatherwood. 17th, Alan Dice. 18th, Nick Alves. 19th, AJ Stravato. And in 20th, Dennis Faircloth.
In 21st, it's going to be Eric Hutton. Chris Samard to his outside in 22nd. 23rd, it'll be Michael Newman. 24th, Dallas Sullivan. 25th, Lane Sulfridge. 26th, Reggie Ortega. 27th, Angelo Ronis. 28th, Jacob Houston. 29th, Eric Lambert. Josiah Vincent rounding out the top 30. 31st, it'll be Tony Baird. 32nd, Garrett Wolfenbarger, who was the pole sitter for the opener last week. He's starting way towards the back here tonight. Dennis Steele, 33rd. Joey Mines, 34th. 35th, it's Mark Beverly. 36th, Lyle Sulfridge. 37th, Seth Hatchell, the last of the drivers to take a time. 38th, Zach Smith. And that's going to do it. 38 drivers here tonight from Texas. Should be a good race with that many cars in the field. Looking forward to an exciting night of racing here. Cheer on your favorite drivers. Let us know you're out there, who you're rooting for, who you think's going to win tonight. Always want to hear your voice, hear the chat, and hope you guys enjoy tonight's broadcast as we are still waiting for this pace car to get rolling. A couple guys still waiting to grid up. And
two interesting points to bring up tonight. Last week's race winner, Jeremy Miller, will not be here tonight, and after winning the first race of the season and having to miss the second race, it definitely puts a lot less stress on you, as you already know that you're going to be locked into the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely doesn't doesn't affect him. No weight on his shoulders for sure with that. He will have to make at least 50% of the races to qualify for the playoffs, but I expect Jeremy to be making most of the races. I know he said he was probably going to miss this one, so not too much of a surprise, but it'll be good to have him back on track next week.
And the other point I wanted to bring up is with this 38 car field, there will be more than likely a big lap traffic.
Yeah, there's going to be a situation. Yeah, there's definitely going to be a big lap traffic environment out there. It could be at some point like a continuous line of cars. So drivers will have to be aware of that, and especially the lap cars letting the leaders on by. They can definitely race for their positions, but we've seen lap cars, play a role in who wins and loses races. So we don't want to see too much of that if it's not necessary, but we'll see how things go, how the night progresses. 150 laps here at Texas, about to get underway. And before we do get rolling here, 88 degree air temp, 97 degree track temp, so it's a bit hot here in Texas, but not too bad. Should be enough grip for these guys, but tires could become a factor even on this freshly paved surface. We'll have to see how these guys conserve them and what the strategy starts to look like. Pace car rolling on to pit lane. About to get going here from Texas. The field working towards the start-finish line. Green flag in the air, and we are underway. Jeremiah Vincent gets him going down into turn number 1. Already a battle for the race lead. Here comes Zach Carr working to the inside into turn 3. He's going to take the top spot away as Jeremiah Vincent trying to hang on to the second spot. Oh, and big slide. Up the racetrack he goes, 3 wide. He's in the wall. Now into Brett Sommers across the track. Disaster for the pole sitter. He didn't get to lead the first lap, and he's involved in a wreck out of turn number 4. And how about excitement there? Did not see that coming, and absolutely horrible start for Jeremiah Vincent, who's able to roll away, but he's going to bring out the first yellow flag here on lap number 1.
That was just a chain reaction of events. You saw Jeremiah get kind of loose, it looked like, or bumped, it looked like, maybe out of the way, and kind of get pushed into that high groove, and I'm not quite sure what car cut him off and put him into the wall to finish him off, but very interesting start to a race compared to last week what we had at Daytona. They were clean the whole time, and then now we get a wreck on lap 1.
Yeah, a little contact with the 6 of Ryan Gemmel, but it just looked like they kind of ran out of room there. They were already double wide. Let's go back and take a look here. Oh, he clipped them a little bit. Jeremiah had saved the car really nicely. You see Nick Gardner goes around as well. Let me see if I can find him. That is the 16 machine up here. He did a heck of a job saving his car as well.
Yeah, it looks like the 57 just... There's not much you can do in that situation. The 16 sees what's going on, but the 57's tucked in right behind the 16's bumper and can't see anything, and just kind of turns him because the 16 lays off the gas a little bit.
I'm going to see if I can go on board here with the 6 of Ryan Gemmel. Get a little better insight into what was going on. Yeah, Jeremiah gets loose, slips off the racetrack. Ryan trying to steer away from him. They make just a slight amount of contact, and that shoots Jeremiah into the outside wall. And it goes downhill quickly from there, and Jeremiah, with heavy damage, will have to get that fixed up. And he is going to be in for a long race with... damage here on lap number 1. And Zach Carr, he's the big winner with all that. He gets the lead. He's out here. No issues at all. The tires are now warmed up. And he made that pass look really easy.
I still can't believe that's the start of the race that we just had. It's a complete polar opposite of last week.
Yeah, I mean, no real yellows to speak of in the first stage at Daytona, and now we open it up on lap 1 with a multi-car crash. And, not really too bad of impacts for most drivers, but Brett Somers, Jeremiah Vincent, they have the worst of the damage. And the Boston Web Marketing machine back into his pit stall, trying to get some more of that repaired. And I'm not sure how much damage really the 16 of Nick Gardner has, but he is well back here, 32nd. The car looks pretty clean, so I think he'll be in decent shape. But he's lost a lot of track position now, back to 32nd after starting up there in 15th.
Hey, at least it wasn't as bad as the inaugural race here at Texas where they wrecked going into the very first turn, the big pileup on the very first ever race at Texas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, the old configurations of this track that were disastrous, and they had to do it over 3 times, I think, before they finally got it right. And then down the road about 15 years they ruined it again, but that's just my opinion. Some people do enjoy the racing here, but I
sure,
tend
the
to...
facilities are great.
Yeah, I've heard that really the facility is top-notch, but not a huge fan of the reconfiguration down in Turn 1, but it does put on some good racing here in iRacing. In the real world, I think there's there's a real disadvantage to the lower banking, and it may take a few years to really wear in and produce better racing. But we'll have to see, especially with the next-gen car coming out. That could really change things altogether.
We can only hope.
But right now, it is going to be Zach Carr, Anthony Pelican, behind them, Alex Pelican and Nick Starling. And then Bradley Wilson, Ryan Gemmel, those are the top 3 rows. The green flag is actually back in the air. We were under a replay, and Zach Carr with a great restart. Going to pull out in front of the 99 of Anthony Pelican by about 3 or 4 car lengths, now down into 1 and 2.
Two Pelican brothers linked up. They're going to help push each other, try to get by that 27 car, I can only imagine.
Yeah, they are great at working with each other, and they're the 2 dialed-in machines up here at the front. One of them involved in that wreck in Nick Gardner. But these guys right up here in the mix. They go wide entry, trying to get some clean air to the nose. And look at that, the 51 of Bradley Wilson looks like he's able to stick the nose in underneath Alex. And he can't quite get there down the back straightaway, but had a good shot, a good run out of turn 2. Not quite enough, though, as he gets back in line. And look at that, Anthony Pelican, big checkup right there. And that's going to allow the 21 into his rear view mirror. They are all pretty well single file, but you see the different approaches to these corners with the 51 well wide on the entry. And other drivers kind of copying that as well. Ryan Gemmel here with Safe Ferris, these 2 nose to tail.
Back in 13th place, we do have 2 wide action going on with the 56 of Loveland looking to possibly push it 3 wide as the 88 gets a good run off of turn 4. And the 56 will poke his nose underneath the 5 and try to get the advantage here in 1.
Yeah, Hutton able to clear Joshua Abbey, who started up towards the front, and there goes James Loveland. Here comes 57 of Alan Dice. The inside lane, definitely the preferred line around 1 and 2, but you can see there, Allen couldn't quite get back up to the outside wall with the 5 car there, but then full throttle through 3 and 4 for the most part, and he's able to drive right on by, and that opens up a battle here potentially between Michael Newman and Joshua Abbey. Chris Samard looking on those 2. Behind him, it's going to be Nick Alves and the 17 of Angelo Ronis side by side. And then here comes Josiah Vincent. Some interesting stats that we can now refer to. We've got some of the records here for the league. Josiah Vincent has the record for most top 10s in a season. And I don't quite recall where he ended up last week at Daytona. But he could be trying to top that. He had 18 top 10s 2 seasons ago. Only 2 races finishing outside the top 10, and that is just an incredible performance Nobody was within 2 top 10s of that year. And he could really try to match that this season. But look at this battle up here at the front now. The 21 of Alex Pelican all over Zach Carr.
It's going to be really tough to get by that 27 of Zach Carr. Not only is he a really fast driver, but that dirty air really just makes things so difficult here. And with these cars, you got to hope that the car in front of you almost makes a mistake, especially when someone like Zach Carr is in front of you and is one of the faster drivers in the league.
A couple of fast drivers in the league back here as well, duking it out. This is 8th and 9th. AJ Stravato and Keith Mayato. Dead even at the line. Behind them, Eric Hutton. These are 3 of the top 5 winningest drivers here in this league. Right there, Cody Adkins as well, who's really stepped up his game. And he's going to take them 3 wide through the middle now as Mayato, not a great run in 1 and 2. Cody Adkins shoots the gap. He's now going to try and make the pass on both Eric Hutton and Mayato, and he is going to make the pass on the 36, trying to pinch down Eric and holding him off for the moment. That is a good set of battles back here, as really up towards the front, not too much happening between the 2 leaders, but we did have side by side for a moment. The 51 of Bradley Wilson. Here comes Ryan Gemmel, going to make a big move down to the inside, looking to take over the 5th position, shoves the 51 up the racetrack, and that blue and purple machine going to get a good run out of turn 4. Here comes Safe Ferris as well, going to try and get down and give him a bump draft on the straightaway. And Bradley up there on the outside all by himself. Not going to be able to make it stick up there in that high groove. We do have a battle back here between Timmy Emanuele and Cody Adkins just outside the top 10. And also the 57 of Alan Dice, the 22 of Reggie Ortega, 37 of Chris Samard. All these guys battling it up back here inside the top 15.
Timmy Emanuele has been throwing some pretty serious blocks here early on. He does not want to give up any track position, and I don't honestly blame him. The track position right now is just so important, and even losing 1 spot this early on can really hurt you later on in the race. I don't know how long he's going to be able to hold off that 36 of Keith Mayato. He has a mission for sure.
Yeah, I think Keith could be saving right now. It's so hard to save with this basically foot to the floor aero package and horsepower package. But he is not up in the top 10 like we're kind of used to seeing him. He's right now in 12th position and racing it up pretty hard with these guys. But you can see how much he loses on entry there. Probably just lifting early, trying to save some fuel. I think it's going to be very close for these guys to make it 50 laps.
I do know with the new fuel rules, it seems like almost no one's able to go the full distance on these stages, and it definitely will be close. So only time will tell at this point if we're going to make it to the end of the stage.
And right now looking on Anthony Pelican, who's trying to track down Zach Carr. He's lost about a half second since we last saw him. And behind him, Alex Pelican trying to close up to his brother there. Top 4 all within a second and a half. Nick Starling up here, doing a really good job. He is under heavy fire though from Ryan Gemmel, the 6 car. Team V Speed behind him, and then Safe Ferris, Team Red Speed here in 6th. Bradley Wilson for Shenandoah Shine right in the mix as well. AJ Stravato in 8th. AJ, champion of 2 seasons ago. All-time wins leader here in the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series. Looking to add more to his resume. Not the finish he wanted to start the season last week. I believe it was 15th or so, right around there. And he's looking to improve his points position with a good run tonight. And his buddy is leading right now. That is Zach Carr, starting to close up on the 46 of Dallas Sullivan, who's got some right side damage, and he looks to be quite a bit off the pace. And last time, a second and a half lower than Zach Carr. Jeremiah Vincent, the only car off the lead lap, and he is 5 laps down. So the pole sitter not going to have the run that he was looking for, and what I kind of expected from Jeremiah. I thought he'd have a real good shot to win this race, knowing his skills at these mile-and-a-half tracks with this 550 package.
Yeah, it was a very unfortunate start. Just one little mistake compounds, and unfortunately he was able to save it, but the drivers around him weren't able to keep it clean as much as he would have wanted. So unfortunately it does pretty much end his day. He might be able to gain a couple of positions depending on what happens the rest of this race, but he's not going to really be running for much today.
Yeah, he's racing around right now. Jacob Houston, the 11 machine, who's got some pretty heavy nose damage as well. Right now 32nd position, and he'll have to hope to stay on the lead lap and get that damage repaired under the stage break in about 25 laps. Up in front of him, some of these guys racing an upset. Hatchell, last year's champion, here in 26, did not have the opening race that he wanted as well, but looking to improve his points standing as he's looking to the inside of Eric Lambert for 25th spot. That 8 machine, he's tasked himself with a pretty difficult task today, coming from the rear. And he's making good progress, though, about 10 spots gained so far. As looking for other battles on the track, Eric Hutton putting a lot of pressure on the 51 of Bradley Wilson. Looks like he gets a great run out of turn 2. Side by side, they go down the backstretch. You see Dallas Sullivan slow behind him. And Eric had a really nice race here in the Xfinity Series a couple months ago. I think ended up 2nd or 3rd, but definitely really fast around this place. And we've seen Eric have good speed at these mile-and-a-halfs as well. A little farther back, that is just the 46 of Dallas Sullivan, still getting up and out of the way, but that might set up an opportunity to pass for Michael Newman or Joshua Abbey as they put some pressure on Timmy Emanuele. 16th, 17th, 18th on the screen. I don't know, Zach, are you hearing any saving of fuel or anything like that? Any communication from the drivers?
I haven't been hearing anything on the radio right now. It seems they're just trying to find their spot and race throughout trying to find their way through this race and somehow make it to the end of this stage, but I really don't hear any race chatter right now.
Yeah, I know the admins have kind of clamped down on some of the chatter. We've had quite a bit of bickering at times, and these guys are all about having fun, just trying to enjoy themselves. And look at this, now battling the 5 of Joshua Abbey and the 12 of Michael Newman. 17th, 18th. But Joshua not going to be able to hang on to that spot. The 12 will take it away out of turn number 2. He slides right up in front. And now Alan Dice sets his sights on those two as well. Dennis Faircloth rocking a new scheme back here in 21st. The Geico machine. Same base template as his Thrustmaster scheme, the red paint that we're accustomed to seeing him in, but back to the neon yellow, or neon green rather, and a good look for that race car.
We see the 12 car dive down to the inside of the 39 car coming into this next turn. Is he going to be able to make it stick on the bottom? It looks like he will. Will he get the run off though?
Yeah, pretty good run through the center there, but neck and neck towards the start-finish line. You see how much momentum the 39 of Timmy gains just on the tri-oval there, and the 12 really deep down into the corner. He's going to have a tough time getting out of this turn, but a little side draft on the 39 machine.
And 57's going to come in and push the 39 a little bit farther ahead. That pushing will really help out drivers here.
And Allen trying to figure out which lane to go with. Kind of take it 3 wide as they nearly make contact there right in front of him. And here comes Nick Alves in the Tricky Gaming Camaro. And that really checked up Allen. He's going to lose maybe even another spot to Joshua Abbey, who goes way up high. And this is some fun battling back here. Looks like Nick Alves maybe going to take it 3 wide. He is there. 3 wide down the back straightaway.
Looks like he checked up.
And he does back out of it.
That
Side
39
by
car is
side.
pinching the 12 car really hard. I know that's what you got to do to keep the lead here. Not the lead, but the position. But it's very risky. You never know when that driver might just pop up a little bit and tag you.
Yeah, just a small mistake from Michael could cost him, but here goes the 12. He'll make the pass, and that now opens the door for Nick Alves to try and make the move down low. He'll go to the inside. This is inviting other drivers in Dennis Faircloth and Seth Hatchell now into the fold as they try to make their way up inside the top 20. And Nick Alves not able to make that stick down there, but now gets a really good run, and here comes Joshua Abbey, shot out of a cannon behind him. And now Nick trying to get that position away from Timmy Emanuele, who seems to have used all the tires up. Meanwhile, up here for second, Ryan Gemmel is taking the spot away. Anthony Pelican is slowed up significantly. And this may be where we start to see the fuel savings happen.
Yeah, I'm very concerned about fuel. It's always been since the start of the season, it seems like it's going to be a big issue. We saw it in our preseason races that with both Xfinity and the Cup car that it's really, you're going to have to conserve if you want to make it to the end. And for some of these drivers, if you might just be starting now, you're either going to lose a lot of spots and make it or might not make it at all. You almost need to save from the beginning, it feels like.
Yeah, and we've seen some drivers like Keith Mayato who drifted back outside the top 15. He is now up to 9th. It looks like maybe putting the pedal to the metal, starting to make his moves towards the front as he's on the back bumper of James Loveland. And Eric Hutton, a couple of winners from the Xfinity Series last season. And Keith, really good run out of turn 2. He's going to try and shove James down the backstretch.
44 car will be pitting this time.
That is Safe Fares, who we're so used to seeing run alternate strategies. He does have a little bit of right front damage. Must have caught the wall as he's really going to push the issue onto pit lane. Maybe a little too fast. We'll have to see. But the first taker onto pit lane.
I also heard the 11 car will be coming down pit road. With these two drivers coming down pit road, it makes you wonder where our leader, Zach Carr, is standing right now on fuel. He doesn't want to be the last person to pit. I know he does have a 2-second lead, and that is a good cushion, but new tires can definitely help close that gap, and if he does not have a good entry, it can very much loosen the stage.
Yeah, and it looks like Safe Fares is taking tires and a long stop, so it looks like probably a speeding penalty. And we've seen Safe have these issues occasionally, and this one is definitely going to be a costly mistake. Here comes Dennis Faircloth onto pit lane. Nick Gardner and some of these other drivers actually pit during that first yellow. They have 4 or 5 more laps of fuel. And potentially your race leader, Zach Carr, who's now got a little drafting help from the 7 of Brett Sommers. Brett currently the last car on the lead lap, trying to hang on to that position. Up in front of him now, Dennis Steele. And there was a car coming off pit lane. That was Jacob Houston getting back up to speed. Dennis Faircloth, looks like right sides only or fuel only. And here comes Alex Pelican onto pit lane. Trying to keep an eye on other drivers. He's really the first of the top 10, I think, to bring it down. Other than maybe Safe, he would have been right there as well. And for other drivers slowing up, don't see anybody taking it this time.
And I definitely think that fuel only would be a good call here because it can definitely put you in a good situation for the stage end. It looks like almost everyone is going to have to pit unless if someone just is very good at saving. But I would imagine everyone will come back down pit road anyway again. And if you pit 10 laps later, you'll have 10 lap fresher tires if you just take fuel now, if you pit again at the stage. So I think right now fuel only is the right call.
Yeah, that's what I would say as well. You've got 3 additional sets of tires, but if you take fuel only here, with so few laps remaining, you don't really need to burn that extra set. just kind of run it out, and you may not win the stage, but you'll have that extra set of tires in case it comes down to it late in the race. Eric Lambert on pit lane, the U.S. Air Force number 3 Simulators Anonymous machine. It looks like fuel only for him, 5.8 seconds. That's quite a bit shorter than even Dennis Faircloth's time. And
Leader is pitting this time.
And Ryan Gemmel had also chopped into Zach's lead. So I think Zach had started saving and then maybe realized he wasn't going to be able to make it, or it needed to have started saving earlier or something along those lines. But he's going to bring it down pit lane and surrender that race lead. That hands it to Ryan Gemmel, who takes over the top spot. Also AJ Stravato, Chris Samard on pit road. Ryan Gemmel, Anthony Pelican, you see right here on the screen, racing up for the lead. When do either of them bring it down? Here comes Ryan right now. That hands it over to Anthony Pelican. Ryan gets it down to pit road speed. Hard on the brakes right there. Almost speeding. We'll have to see. That was really close for him as well. Pushing the issue. Trying to gain every last bit of speed and time that you can. Looks like Bradley Wilson also on pit road. Trying to catch all these guys as they bring it down. Gemmel off and away, a 6.9 second stop. Eric Hutton also off rolling. James Loveland as well. And not too many laps left in this stage. At 43 up on the board right now, just 8 more laps. Can any of these guys stretch it? Nick Starling bringing it down now. And also looks like Reggie Ortega, Cody Adkins, maybe a few others bringing it down. So, could be a split strategy though. We'll see if anyone can make it on fuel. Here comes Anthony Pelican, blowing it up. Here's Keith Mayato as well. Don't see anybody else in the immediate distance, but Seth Hatchell, the next one in line. Maybe Seth's strategy from the get-go, starting at the back, was save as much fuel as possible as he now takes the race lead with 7 laps to go.
And we see a 4-car bundle of the 21, 88, 27, and 33, all of them coming off pit road roughly the same time and meeting back up together. Yeah, looks like the 21 might have taken tires, actually. He's a lot faster than these other guys.
Yeah, 14.9 seconds for the 21 of Alex Pelican, so that's a 4-tire pit stop. And meanwhile, where is the 27? He's behind them. Zach, 11.9, so that's either a 2-tire stop and fuel or a miscue in the box. I'm not exactly sure, but he's 15th, and the 21 has been able to leapfrog him.
I did watch his pit stop. He didn't take any tires, but he had a really tough time getting out of his pit stall. It looked like there might have been something. It was just very slick for him. Maybe there was some oil down on the track near him or something, but I'm not quite sure. But he lost the position to AJ coming off of pit road and got it back just now on the track.
Yeah, Seth Hatchell, Joshua Abbey rolling off the pit lane. Nick Gardner still on track. One of only a handful left. The 41 of, or rather the 7 of Brett Sommers. He's been out here for a while after pitting earlier in this race. It's Nick Gardner now, the last one remaining, as Timmy Emanuele brings it down to his stall. And fuel only for the 39. Also Joey Mines right there rolling off with him. Looks like Nick Gardner could be trying to stretch it. He's got 15.5 seconds over Ryan Gemmel. So he could really just slow up here. It's only 4 laps to go. He could run almost 4 seconds a lap slower to just try and save some fuel. And it looks like that might be the strategy. There goes Seth Hatchell, going to blow right on past him. And Nick Gardner did pit during that first yellow flag, so he could potentially stretch it. And he would be the only driver to do so.
And great strategy call if he can make it to the end. There should be no issue for him winning the stage unless he runs out of gas. And as it will put him in a bad position for the next stage to start off with, but it is 100 laps the next stage. And you never know what will happen in that. And if things fall the right way, this can give them a couple extra points, and it gives them that playoff point as well. So not too bad a strategy to start off the season and look towards the playoffs.
Yeah, and he is shutting the engine off. Look at how much speed he's losing through the corners. There goes the number 1 of Zach Smith. Here comes Joshua Abbey, the 15 of Mark Beverly. All those drivers just going straight on by. None of those guys are racing for position, though. He's out here leading the field by 10.5 seconds. Alex Pelican now moves to second over Ryan Gemmel. But again, Alex on those fresh tires. Ryan did not take tires and had an 8-second.
It looks like he's out of fuel.
Oh, and Nick Gardner just not able to stretch it.
That was very close, and it makes you wonder as a driver, what more could I have done? You only needed one more full lap to get around this track, and honestly, if he sputtered even towards the end, he could have made it in and then took in a penalty and came down pit road, but it would be very difficult because not only do you have to finish all 50 laps at the stage, you have to do a couple extra laps for the caution until pit road opens if you don't want that penalty. So tough break to not make it to the end for Nick Gardner, but he's going to just take his losses and hope that he can salvage something out of this race.
Yeah, and he will get some type of a penalty having pitted there in the last couple laps of the stage. But meanwhile, the 21 of Alex Pelican, he's played it perfectly. Right side damage and all, he'll win stage number 1 and get that elusive playoff point. It's going to be difficult to rack up bonus points here with just the winner of the stage. And you can kind of pick, do I go for that and maybe sacrifice my finish at the end of the race, you know, by a few positions or something like that, or do I just try and do the best possible strategy and see if I can get there without taking tires? There's all kinds of different ways to accomplish a goal here with the rules the way they are, but either way, Alex Pelican, he's accomplished what he was set out to do, winning that stage, and only 28 cars left on the lead lap here, so we lost 10 cars off the lead lap during that whole set of pit stops and the pit cycle. A few penalties, like say Ferris put him a lap down as they get caught up to the lap or the pace car. Who the lucky dog is, but Garrett Wolfenbarger showing as the first car 1 lap down. He might be able to get back on the lead lap. And drivers like Brett Sommers, who just pit 2 laps ago, he may stay out here, try and take a wave around as the leader is going to bring it back down. And this is where the 21 might lose out on this strategy call. He may have to take just fuel only and everybody else can put tires on.
And it's going to be a questionable decision, even though he did get the stage win. When you think about it, it's shown that they can't make it 50 laps on fuel, and they would have to split it by 50. So if he only has 1 set of tires left, he's going to have to go 1 stop without taking tires if it goes green, while everyone else will be able to split it up into 3 possibly, go a little less laps, go 33 laps or so, and take tires both times. And we'll see how much of the strategy pays off, and they'll be definitely hoping for a caution to go his way as he's slow on. He's staying in his box. I'm not quite sure what's going on, actually.
I think it's maybe that damage on the right side, getting that repaired. Looks like they are working on that car. Meanwhile, Seth Hatchell, he has stayed out on the racetrack. He's been out on track for 9 laps. He did take tires, but he could be in a better situation than even some of these guys who just pit now. And so Seth making up all that ground with staying out. We'll see if he elects to pit, but does get a lap led. And there's bonus points for that here in below the double yellow. And Jacob Houston also staying out on track for the moment, but I would expect Jacob to bring it in. He's got that nose damage that he could really use repaired, but he is going to stay out. Nope, he will come back down. Say Ferris as well with the right side damage. He'll stay a lap down instead of taking a wave around. With Hatchell staying out, he actually couldn't have taken the wave around. But things are definitely mixed up here at the front. You've got Seth Hatchell and then Nick Starling and Bradley Wilson, Ryan Gemmel, Anthony Pelican, and all of them on mixed strategies.
Yeah, it looks like Seth and Ryan will have the older tires. It looks like they only pit once. Everyone else should be on new tires. Maybe Eric Hutton only pit once, it looks like. I'm not quite sure, but it's going to be interesting seeing how these older tires hold up against the new tires. I know it's only 10 laps, but they can make a really big difference in these situations.
Yeah, it is possible he babied them for those 10 laps, and some of those are pace laps, but Nick and Bradley did not take tires under the stop here. They must have taken them under green. And Ryan Gemmel and basically everybody on back did take fresh tires, so it will be interesting to see how they get rolling here on this restart. If you are just tuning in, want to thank you for joining us, and would encourage you to follow, subscribe, or otherwise support us in whatever way you feel inclined. You can check us out at these social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter on the screen, to stay up to date with what we're doing throughout the week. Tuesday nights right now, it is below the Double Yellow Cup Series, and on Wednesdays, the Virtual Racing League for just a few more weeks. They are going to wrap up their season, and then we'll have a little break from them on Wednesdays, but kicking off this season here, this is just race number 2, and only a handful left in that series. It's going to be an interesting last few races over there in VRL, isn't it?
Yeah, it will definitely be an interesting last couple of races. You're going to see drivers starting to get aggressive, and you're going to see that the field does start to dwindle a little bit once the playoffs come. A lot of these drivers want to respect that these playoff drivers are here, and they're fighting for a little bit more than other people. But the problem with that is the points start to get a lot more scarce, and when the worst you can finish is 16th, you don't really lose that much points. So a lot of these drivers are going to be fighting for top 5s in order to make it to the Final Four.
Yeah, and those wins become that much more important in guaranteeing your way into a championship battle. And Adam Cabot already locking himself in to the next round. And we'll be at Watkins Glen tomorrow night, and I'm really looking forward to that one. Should be a good race. But pace car off. Seth Hatchell, Nick Starling in control. Green flag back in the air, and good jump for the number 8. Thank you, Nick Gardner, for the subscription. Appreciate that. Thank you for tuning in. And subscribing while he's racing, as we've got cars all over the place farther back in the field here. They were scattered around 15th or so. Out in front, it is Seth Hatchell. Bradley Wilson, though, already up to second. And behind him, Ryan Gemmel, Keith Mayato, and Anthony Pelican. That car, who was leading the early part of this race, has seemed to have lost control a little bit at this point, but definitely close enough, as he's going to almost go 3 wide. The 99, a little bit of a block, and I think Zach thought better of it. Would have been a late move down the backstretch there and could have really ended badly for all involved.
And Zach car has really good speed right now. It looks like his fresher tires are really kicking in compared to some of these other drivers, or these other drivers are just conserving a little bit. But him and that 99 are pushing through the field right now and making up some time.
And about the farthest we saw anyone go was 45 laps, I think, or 43 laps on fuel, something like that. Nick Gardner went about...
Yeah, the caution made it a little bit shorter on fuel.
Yeah, I think he went 46 laps, having pit around lap 3 or 4, and pitting right before the end of the stage. So, don't know if anyone can make it from here. It's going to be about 90 laps. So it could still be a 2-stop race, and we'll see how the drivers split it up. Look at the battles back here. Ryan Gemmel putting a little bit of a block on the 88 of Eric Hutton, and Ryan going backwards right now, maybe potentially saving those tires. Reggie Ortega up in the mix. Reggie had a great race at Daytona and a great duels race as well. And he is up here now in the top 10. Doing a real nice job, that Virtual Racing League machine.
And we did just see a pass for the lead. The 27 got by the 8 car, but the 99 took advantage of the 27 trying to get around him and dove down to his inside. And now AJ Strabato's going to get up in the mix. Will he push it 3 wide or fall in line?
And right now he is stuck behind the 99. Here he goes, looking 3 wide. Not enough room, has to back out of it. The 99 of Anthony Pelican takes the top spot away. Fresh tires on that Chevy Camaro. He is out in front now, 2 car lengths. Here comes Keith Maotto behind the 33. And blocking back there, that is the 56 of James Loveland, trying to hold off Josiah Vincent for 11th spot. Meanwhile, up in front, 27 of Zach Carr reloading, trying to set his sights forward again. The 99 car is right here in front of him. He can regain control of this race.
We saw how far in front he could get last time with that clean air. It's just such a big thing here at these 1.5 miles and with this plate package. And it's really, clean air is king, as we've said before, and he's going to try and disrupt those cars behind him and Anthony Pelican as well. He might, it's just all depends. Zach Carr might be struggling now with that dirty air.
And meanwhile, Seth Hatchell back here in the 9th spot and dropping, but the 51 of Bradley Wilson slips up the racetrack almost into the 8. And Reggie Ortega almost took it 3 wide there, and they are 3 wide. Josiah Vincent down low, 51 and 22 up high. They nearly make contact. Reggie has to jump up about another half lane, and they are still 3 wide out of turn number 4. Here comes Dennis Faircloth, and they're starting to pinch down. Now they go back side by side. That is intense, I am sure. Oh, and the 4 of Josiah Vincent overcooks it into turn number 1. That opens the door for the 80, who's going to try and take advantage down low. 3 wide, they go down the backstretch. Reggie Ortega, good run on the high side. He'll move up to 10th now. And the battle for 4th is starting to heat up here as well. Maotto and Gemmel as Ryan dropped all the way back to, I think, about 6th or 7th. And now starting to make up some spots. And it is crazy back here, though. The 24 of Nick Alves to the inside of Bradley Wilson. And Bradley did not take tires on that stop, so he is paying the price just like Seth Hatchell. But he's paying even more of a price than Seth, so obviously Seth's saving the tires a bit better.
It's the price you pay for trying to get a better finish at the stage. And with the new rules where only the stage winner gets the points, it really puts you at a disadvantage if you don't win the stage. It's almost as if you did all that strategy for nothing. And you mentioned 51 paying the price as he just keeps getting steamed on by these other cars as they keep rolling down the inside, as he finally does get back down the inside in front of that 57 car.
Yeah, and I'm taking a look at Hatchell and trying to think through how this strategy is going to work out for him. I think he will definitely have to pit twice. Some of these guys might be able to stretch it if they're very conservative with fuel usage and they pit at the exact right moment. Seth, though, he's committed to pitting twice no matter what. So I think maybe he could have an advantage because he might pit earlier than everyone else, get a little bit of a gap built up, and then by the time he has to pit a second time, he will have gained some track position overall. So this could work out for Seth, who started all the way at the back here tonight in 37th. Right now still trying to hang on to a top 10 spot.
Yeah, he can hang up in that top 15 area before he has to make his first pit stop. I don't see, it's something different than everyone else will be doing. Most of these drivers will be trying to stretch it and trying to only do a one-stop race. But Seth Hatchell's already decided by his strategy, I'm going to have to pit twice. Let's do something different. We started in the back. We're going to do something different than all these other drivers, and maybe it will pay out. You do see a lot of times, just by changing the strategy and doing something other than the whole field, you can steal a race. And Seth Hatchell definitely looking for that.
Yeah, Seth definitely a very smart driver. He's always in contention for these things, and I was a bit surprised to see him start at the back, but you know, I'm starting to see a method to the madness. I think is at the front, battle for the race lead. Zach Carr able to get to the inside. He's got the lead away, and here comes AJ Stravato trying to take second. And Zach trying to pull him forward there. He jumps down in front to the bottom line. Keith Maiato also trying to close in and get that third spot as he goes deep into turn 3. Ryan Gemmel also closing in with the 99, using his tires up early on in this run. And he has now fallen all the way to 5th in just a handful of corners. Anthony, I recently learned, was the Season 1 champion here in the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series, so has had quite a bit of success in this league, and he's been a good contender here this season so far, and a really fast driver in the Xfinity Series as well. He was always up in the mix last season, and even the opening race of this year, he was right up there at the top 5 all race long. And now Maiato trying to make some moves on the high side, can't get it to stick. Here comes Ryan Gemmel. And behind them, it's Pelican and Eric Hutton. Chris Samard closing in, James Loveland as well. We've got 8 cars under a blanket here, all within 1.5 seconds, battling for the top 5.
Yeah, it's looking like that 99 car really burnt his stuff up. He just keeps getting freight trained down that bottom line, and he's stuck up top. It just can't get back to the bottom, it feels like. And he's gonna actually go and down block the 56th, as I mentioned. You need to be on the bottom right now if you want to maintain your position. So it's very interesting to see how far back he's fallen. He went from 1st to 7th in about 2 laps, and then it just shows you being in the wrong line and not conserving your stuff can really hurt you in the long run.
Yeah, now I think the fastest car on track back out to the front, and that's not a great sign for everybody out here. He could very easily run away with this, and that's why those alternate strategies can really do something for you. You might be able to just outsmart the 27 by just a little bit. You don't have to win by a lot. You only have to win by an inch. And I mean, Zach right now, he is the car to beat. He's gotten back out in front. AJ Stravato, his friend, right there in the 33 behind him, trying to close up. And also Ryan Gemmel, Keith Maiato, Eric Hutton. These are big names here in this series, all battling at the front. Zach looking for his first career win in what would just be his 2nd race, and he is leading here at halfway.
Nick Starling going on the radio that he's pitting in this time.
And here he comes, lap 76. Really
We were
hot.
talking about it earlier. Just, you got to do something different if you're stuck in the back of this pack.
Yeah, and this is an interesting call. He can go about 35 laps from here and then make it on that stop at that point. So he's not exactly splitting this in thirds exactly, but he's short pitting on the first one here, and we'll see if he takes tires or 2 tires or fuel only. As pit timer now, the left side's going up, so he has taken 4 tires and a 14.3 second pit stop. He'll come back out on the racetrack about a lap and a half down. Here comes Zach Carr leading the field, and the battle for second is closing up. Ryan Gemmel not too far behind AJ Stravato, and Ryan saving those first few laps. It seems to be paying dividends right now. He has definitely made up ground. I don't see anybody else bringing it down pit lane, really. It looks like actually Tony Baird did bring it down. He had also a 14.3 second stop. Nick Starling back to 33rd, Tony Baird in 35th, and Tony is 2 laps down. Not really in contention to win, but maybe just trying to make up some spots or get back on the lead lap at some point here. as Anthony Pelican and Eric Hutton have not backed down at all. They are still battling for 5th spot. Chris Simard right here as well. But Anthony actually got back around Chris because he had fallen behind the 37. This is interesting. Anthony lost a lot of ground, and he's kind of stabilized right here, 1.2 behind the race leader.
Looking at these analytics right now, and Zach Carr out of the top 10 having one of the fastest laps. I think the only other driver in the top 10 anywhere close to him was James Loveland, but Zach Carr being over a tenth faster than the other guys around him, it spells trouble. Like, he has no draft and he's still pulling time on these guys, so it just shows you how much of a factor clean air can be, and he's gonna keep pulling away as he's already up to 6/10.
Yeah, and now battle for second as Ryan Gemmel goes to the inside of AJ Stravano. Last lap, the 99 was the fastest car, which is just so strange because he lost all that ground and now he's picked up the pace again. So maybe he just cooked the right front and now he's trying to balance it out and he's running off the right rear. I don't really know as he goes through the turf trying to catch a glimpse at clean air underneath the 88, but that's going to cost him as here comes Chris Simard in the battle for third with Maiato and Stravado. We're no strangers to each other whatsoever. These two very accustomed to doing battle as they're two of the top winners here in this league. And over in Virtual Racing League, we see them running it out on Wednesdays all the time as well. Here comes Eric Hutton. He gets checked up a little bit behind the 33, and now Simard trying to utilize that high groove right alongside, but you see through the center of the corner, just loses a bit of time, and now AJ slipping up the racetrack kind of shuts the door for him. Anthony Pelican still trying to catch back up, find some way around. He's definitely got the speed back underneath him. Ooh, Eric Hutton had drifted up a little bit right there, but Ryan Gemmel only a half second behind. He's got something figured out here. He has been able to keep up with Zach pretty well, especially on these long runs.
Looks like the 99 is pitting in this time, actually.
Anthony Pelican from 8th spot on the brakes. Downshifting at the marks now, and nice job smoothly onto pit lane. One driver I want to take a look at here is Seth Hatchell. He has been able to maintain in the top 10, right around 10th spot. And that is best case scenario. He has lost 4.5 seconds to Zach Carr, but he's way up from where he was, you know, even at the end of the stage.
Yeah, the tires evened out, and it's looking like he's able to hold on to a top 10 for right now. As long as, as I was just about to say, as long as cautions go his way. If Anthony Pelican stays on the lead lap here, that would be big for him. I do think he went a lap down. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, and Eric Hutton bringing out the yellow flag hard in the wall. Let's go take a look, see what happened to Eric here. He's got rear end damage, and he was battling with Chris Simard and may have made some contact. Really tight racing. He tried pushing him down, and then yeah, just a little door bang in there, and oh, Chris gets turned hard in the outside wall as well. So the 37, the 88, both suffering heavy damage in this one. Let's see from Chris's view. Get a better shot of this. Oh man, yeah, big hit for the 37, and then Eric actually not too bad off. I mean, all that rear end damage is definitely going to hurt him. Here's Chris. Let's see if we can find a good view of his hit. And I think James Loveland may have been able to make it through. He might have made a little contact. Yeah, just a little bit. But yeah, hard hit for the right rear of Chris Simard. And this does shake things up because they were right around when they have to make a pit stop. and this could have hurt the 99. He is a lap down.
Yeah, he unfortunately fell a lap down there. He will be the lucky dog, so he will be starting at the tail end of the longest line here. But it's just unfortunate. Like, if the caution came out just a couple seconds earlier, he'd be sitting really pretty right now. And it just shows you how luck can really play a factor into this. If something like that goes his way, he's in the lead. But a person who did get a lucky break from that is going to be Seth Hatchell. That's really going to help out his strategy. He's going to now be on even playing field with everyone.
And Safe Ferris was the lucky dog on that one, so he's going to be able to go back around. And this helps Safe out a lot. That mistake on pit road, he's basically, that's washed away now. He has nothing to worry about other than trying to move back forward. Zach Carr does win the battle off pit road. Gemmel second. Mayato, Loveland, Stravato, Ortega, Hatchell, Dennis Faircloth, and Nick Alves. Josiah Vincent, the top 10. See if we can pull up the stage 1 winner. Find him here on track. 21 of Alex Pelican, who's right now at 16th spot. They've repaired the damage on that race car, though. See if we can pull him up into the booth here. Alex Pelican. Oh, nope, he is not here. Oh, there he is. Alex Pelican, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Well, sorry, I didn't realize you were coming down pit lane here, but you won stage 1, and you're a bit farther back than I'm sure you'd like to be, but the car looks like they repaired it pretty well. What do you got here for the last little bit of this race?
Just trying to get back on the same strategy as most of the leaders. Took tires there to get the bonus point at the end of the stage. I figured that'd be a little bit more important, that 1 point, because I'm really not that great here. So just trying to get points where I can.
And you just, it looks like you topped up on fuel, and you expecting to make at least one more stop from here, or what do you think the strategy is going to be?
For me, I'm going to, as soon as I can, make the fuel window, which I believe is around 45 laps. With 45 to go, I'm going to come down, put tires on, and hopefully have something for them.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of mixed strategies out here, and they've worked to varying degrees for some drivers. They've really backfired for others. But right now, all you can do is head forward and keep your nose down and try and make up some ground. But stage winner, anybody you want to give a quick shout out to before we let you get back to racing?
Shout out to all my teammates at Dialed In Racing. You for putting on the broadcast, everyone for sponsoring the league, all the league officials for putting this on.
Awesome, Alex. Well, good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, Alex Pelican Hill restart just outside the top 20, I think, and it looks like we're back double file. Zach Carr, Ryan Gemmel out in front. 60 to go when we get the green flag. It's going to get interesting.
Yeah, definitely going to be a very interesting finish. 60 to go gives you a good amount of time, honestly, to get things settled out. You're going to have to pit, so are we going to see people short pit, maybe pit up after about 20 laps? I know that the 21 car mentioned he wants to pit with about 45 to go, so that would be putting him at 105, so he wouldn't be splitting it in half. So you're going to be seeing more interesting pit calls here, and it could definitely shake things up, and we never know when that caution will come out and change everything.
Yeah, it could be a strategy race here in the last little bit. Do you pit earlier? You pit later? How is that going to go? How much fuel do you take on? Do you try 2 tires? I don't know. It's going to be going to come down to crunching the numbers and hoping that you're right. As that car, he's got nothing to do but try and hold everybody off, as he is in control here on this restart. Green flag in the air. We're back underway. Zach Carr, nice restart again. Keith Mayato. He's got laser focus now on the 27. Car length behind. Really good restart for the 36, and he is right there challenging for the race lead. Lets the 27 send it off in the corner. A little bit easier on the entry there for Keith, as he's going to get a really good run out of turn number 2 and down the backstretch. Still a car length in hand for the 27. Dennis Faircloth way up the racetrack here, battling with Josiah Vincent. And he lost a couple spots there. Here comes Nick Alves looking to the inside. Meanwhile, at the front, Reggie Ortega, he's up to 4th. A few of these guys have been able to get around Ryan, and it seems like Ryan really pretty good at saving and being disciplined on the beginning of these runs. Back to 5th after restarting 2nd. And just trying to cruise here for a few laps, it appears.
And it's where these first couple of laps where you can really burn your stuff up, and being slow, not necessarily slow, but just conserving a little bit really here at the beginning can do a lot for you later on in the run, and we've been seeing that from him all night.
Yeah, we see Tony Baird also bringing it onto pit lane right now. I can't make it from here, so I'm not sure what the call is for him. But heavy damage on the 98. He's out of contention, 2 laps down right now. Here we go, Mayato looks to the high side. Getting out of turn number 4, can't quite get the run, and that air bubble that's kind of present with this big spoiler. He pushes the 27 away from him. Not able to pull him down the straights like he'd hope. And Servato right there waiting to make his move. The 22 of Ortega, Gemmel, Hatchell. Quite a few fast drivers up here still all in the mix. Michael Newman back here battling with Zach Smith. Good to see Zach up here challenging for potentially a top 10. I know Zach has not had the best of luck here, but he's one of the biggest movers tonight, up 27 positions into 11th spot.
Yeah, it's a great night to start all the way in the back of the field and possibly have a top 10 finish. It's not the easiest thing to do, and it takes a lot of time and patience, and you see almost 100 laps in, he's finally just going to almost crack the top 10, as he actually does crack the top 10 with Nick Alves falling behind him.
Yeah, really good run there through 3 and 4. Nick, you could see he was a bit whirly up in the second groove, and Zach just drove it right in underneath him, actually lifted a little bit and still was able to pull him off the exit of turn 4. And now he's got a great run on James Loveland as well. So Zach Smith finding some good pace here in the latter stages of this race. That is cool to see. And we've got up in front of him Seth Hatchell under pressure from Josiah Vincent. And I had mentioned Josiah he has the record for most top 10s in a season, but last year was definitely a down year for him, or down season for him. He had a few less top 10s and quite a few less top 5s, and missed the final 4 for the championship battle, and was out early in the playoffs. So Josiah looking to rebound and have a good start to this season, and up here battling with last year's champion Seth Hatchell. Definitely going to be a confidence booster for him.
We saw AJ Stravato get around the 36 of Keith Mayato, and now Ryan Gemmel, the 6 car, is going to be looking to his inside as well, trying to make a move. It's just, you get up to that leader and you get stuck behind him and you get slowed up because of it, and then everyone else catches back up and makes a move on you. It's almost like a perpetual state of people just giving up second, coming back into second, dropping to 4th, coming back up. It's got to be frustrating as a driver out there right now to know that it seems like it's almost impossible to get by this 27 car right now.
Yeah, he's definitely been the dominant car out here. Let's take a look at how many laps. 70 laps led out of what will be 100 completed coming to the line. So Zach Carr really putting on a performance here tonight at Texas. And some guys trying to challenge him, though. AJ Stravato still just a half second behind him, and then Ryan Gemmel, Seth Hatchell, Keith Mayato. They've been up in the top 5 all race long, other than Seth Hatchell, who's come from the rear, but he's found himself in position late in this race. We did see Dennis Steele coming off of pit road. And Jeremiah Vincent looks like he is bringing it onto pit lane. Still limping that car around. He's up to 35th. He's gained a few spots, but not the performance that he was looking for. Eric Hutton has taken it behind the wall. So unfortunate for Eric, who also had a very strong run going. Go back up to the front as same situation. Travato is closed in just a little bit on Zach. And I would expect pit stops probably around lap 120, 125, kind of splitting this a little bit. Some guys might try to go even a bit earlier than that. Clint Leatherwood, Nick Gardner, they've just pitted recently as well. Chris Samard pit under the last yellow flag. He's 9 laps down with that damage on the right rear. Trying to find other guys who are maybe on alternate strategy, but really Dennis Steele, he's the highest of anyone in 2 laps down right now, having just pit 3 laps ago.
We will see the pit window open next time around. And like you mentioned, I don't think we're going to have that many takers right here. But what can happen is one person up in this top 5 can make a call to short pit. And once one person pits, that opens the floodgates and can cause everyone else to pit, because you really are going to lose a lot of time against those fresh tires.
And how about this? Zach Smith up to 7th position in that number 1 car. What a drive for him. Both he and Seth Hatchell have gone just absolutely through the field. And it looks like, oh, Dennis Faircloth, maybe a brush on the wall there out of turn 2. He gets checked up. Good run for Dennis here tonight, as well as Nick Alves, Joshua Abbey, good performance. Alan Dice, Michael Newman up here. A lot of really good, strong races from drivers here tonight. And that is good to see. It's getting even more and more competitive from the midfield on back. So that's just going to improve everyone in the long term. Everybody has more competition to go up against, and we got more action on the track and all of that. As Clint Leatherwood to the inside, that is Dennis Faircloth, who is really dropping now. He's lost a lot of ground from I think brushing the outside wall, or maybe he's saving with some kind of alternate strategy in mind, but I don't know what he could do at this point in time.
We saw the 6 car of Ryan Gimmel get around the 33 of AJ Stravato with Seth Hatchell right next in line, and Keith Mayato also looking for some moves as well. AJ Stravato going to be fighting these Team V-Speed drivers, and you know they're going to be trying to help each other out, and that's just unfortunately a part of league racing. You get these teams and they do like to work together, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just as a driver it puts you at a disadvantage sometimes, but we've seen also AJ Stravato use that to his own advantage with teammates, so all is fair in love and war.
Yeah, I think AJ's been pretty good on the early to mid part of runs, and Ryan has really been one of the best on the long run all race long. It's he and Zach Carr. They've been the class of the field when it gets to about 20 laps into a run. Hatchell's been pretty good as well, and Keith and AJ are generally some of the best you could find here on the sim in terms of saving tires. And look at this, Zach Smith trying to take over 6th from Reggie Ortega, the 1 car. He's still climbing through the field. It's a good run down on the inside here in 3 and 4. Gets a little pull from the 36, but 22 gonna pinch him down. That might cost him an opportunity to make the pass, but still hanging on the quarter panel. And Reggie has not cleared himself just yet. Zach's gonna send it back down in. And he's got the preferred groove here in 1 and 2. He's got to be careful on the exit to not catch that outside wall, but really great run there. He'll move up to 6th.
And I just heard on the radio that our stage winner, 21 Alexander Pelican, will be coming down pit road this time.
Oh, and he is already on pit lane, so looks like he's going to the end from here. He said as soon as the fuel window opened, that's when he'd be making his call. And that is exactly what he's doing. I did see James Loveland start to close in on Reggie Ortega there for a moment, and I've raced quite a bit with James, and I know he is incredible at saving tires. He does have some right side damage, though. I think that's hindering him at the moment. He is right up here in this train of race cars. They're still all trying to track down Zach Carr. Ryan not able to really pick up any ground, as Zach was still a little bit faster than him. Fastest car was Zach Smith, though. A 31.234 to the leader's 31.36. So about a tenth and a half faster there.
There's a 3-wide battle going on for 11th, 12th, and 13th, or sorry, 12th, 13th, and 14th right now as they get sorted out going into turn 3. 28 car comes out the big winner, and that gains a couple of spots.
Yeah, I think Dennis actually 2 laps down right now on fresher tires, so he's able to just fly right around some of these guys. Jacob Houston now rolling off pit lane. Nick Starling just pit as well. He'll go a lap down. And also Alex Pelican, like we mentioned, he is back on the racetrack. And Nick currently the top driver to have made his pit stop to try and go to the end. Right now 26th position in that number 1 car. Speaking of number 1, the number 27 in position number 1, he's up here and almost at the back bumper of Alex Pelican to try and put him a second lap down. We'll have to see how this works out for Alex. I don't think it's a race-winning move. I think he's probably just trying to gain a few spots and get the best finish he possibly can. They're still battling it up here outside the top 10. Josiah Vincent, Alan Dice, Dennis Faircloth, Nick Alves, as they work their way around Dallas Sullivan, who's had a miserable night. Just limping it around here in 34th position.
And while all that was going on, I was looking back because I heard some drivers on the radio not too happy with each other. It looked like the 33 of Adrian Dorado and the 8 of Seth Hatchell might have got into each other. And actually at lap 113, they did get into each other, and that caused Seth Hatchell to lose a couple of spots, actually.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. Oh, here we go. And as Keith looked to the inside, down into 1 and 2. So Keith was able to make that pass. AJ tried to cross him over, and Seth was there, and oh, big hit. Yeah, and what a great save by Seth, but that cost him a lot of momentum on the backstretch. And he's all the way back to 6th position. Heck of a save, though. He was dead sideways on the straightaway, and Texas isn't really known as having one of the wider rear straightaways. So
yeah, it was definitely a good way to keep his night going. That could have definitely been the end of his night right there, and salvage something out of it. He's still going to be in 6th place, and while his tires might be burn up a little bit, he might take advantage of that and just come down pit road here in a couple.
Yeah, he's been on an alternate strategy basically since the drop of the green flag, so why not just continue with that theme and pit early? But you know, I know Seth pretty well. He's got something in mind, and maybe what he's got in mind is just trying to get back to that 33 car. Well, he's not too vengeful. Pretty calm driver there in the seat for the number 8, as he is riding in line here, and everybody's pretty well organized. Zach Smith has lost a couple spots back to 8th now as he started to lose some ground. I think he's kind of cooked that right front tire, but could consider making a pit stop early and maybe even gain a little bit more ground to try and hold them off. Still only 3.5 seconds or so behind the race leader.
Yeah, I definitely think some drivers should definitely start coming down pit road right about now, especially if they're in the latter half of that top 10. They can definitely make up some time here on this leader and possibly get by him and hold him off for the race win.
Yeah, it'll be tough. 27's been good, but as the tires wear and equalize, it can be very difficult to make a pass, even if you're a little bit better than that guy. As looking back here, Nick Alves trying to track down Dennis Faircloth, who's side by side with Alan Dice. It's been a very entertaining race. Action really all over. for a track that's kind of considered single groove. I think it's been pretty good. How about you?
No, I think the racing's been great tonight, honestly. The only disappointing part about it is obviously how difficult it is to get by that leader. But other than that, everyone else has been able to make both lanes work. It seems like on the long run, the outside seems to be a little bit better than it is in the early. And if you time your passes right, you can really make a move on the outside. I'm really enjoying the racing tonight.
Oh, mistake by Eric Lambert as he comes down onto pit lane, hard on the brakes, just locked him up and then into the pit wall. Dennis Faircloth also onto pit lane, able to get into his box nicely. I do see Anthony Pelican in his box. So Anthony, who's been up towards the front a lot of this race, he's now on pit road, and there goes Dennis Faircloth rolling on past him. See where Nick Starling cycles out in all of this. He pitted about 10 laps sooner, and he is going to be able to get around Dennis and still working on some passes and trying to get up in the top 20 again. It's interesting to see this lead group here. I mean, Zach Carr second and a half up the road, and then everybody else separated by only a couple of car lengths. And they just have not been able to make up ground now that the tires are worn out. But AJ Stravato up the racetrack. He's going to open the door for Reggie Ortega. And here comes Seth Hatchell as well. He's closed that margin up significantly. And they're going to be 3 wide with Eric Lambert coming off of pit road. Eric with that damage now. And he's going to try and get out of the way. Still trying to hang on to it right there on the threshold between the apron and the banking. That kind of checked up the 8 car, but Ortega, Reggie, able to take over 4th from AJ. They've got to be considering pitting at some point here. I do see, I'm trying to see who's coming down this time. Nobody making the move just yet.
I think the 17 announced he's coming down, as well as the 4 car.
All right, Angelo Ronis, and then that'll be the 4 of Josiah Vincent. As, yeah, Josiah on pit lane right now, and Ryan Gemmel actually bringing it down. So Ryan, one of the top cars, and this could convince the 27 to make that pit stop. We'll see how much farther Zach goes. But Ryan, who was in 2nd spot, the closest car to him on pit lane, and now exiting the pit road. Trying to get
Zach
back
Smith down pit road.
Zach Smith would be a good move for him. He had lost a little ground late in the run. I also see James Loveland, Keith Mayato, quite a few others, Nick Alves. So Zach Carr, he's got to be thinking about it. He's lost now a little bit of time to Ryan Gemmel. Got to get a perfect entry on the pit lane. He's not coming this time. He's still staying out. Reggie Ortega still on the track as well. Here comes Seth Hatchell into his box nicely. No issues there. Still quite a few drivers yet to pit. It's going to be about 11 or 12. And we're looking for that number 27 to signal that he's going to bring that car to pit lane. But haven't heard anything yet.
Right now, Alan Dice would be the leader once these top 3 pit.
And he still has yet to pit. His last pit was 39 laps ago. Here comes Ryan Gemmel. Gonna go right on by him. Keep an eye on drivers coming down. Seth Hatchell just coming off the pit lane. He had a long stop there, 18.7. I'm not sure exactly what happened to Seth, but not going to help him out. Anybody with speeding penalties, trying to find that. Maybe, no, I don't see anybody with any mistakes, any significant mistakes. Is Zach Carr continuing to circulate around here? Be a little over 20 laps to go. If he brings it in, he may just run out of time. He's going to lose a lot of ground to these guys who have pit already.
I think I just heard on the radio the leader and 2nd place will be coming down pit road this time.
Here he is, hard on the brakes, right underneath the 3 machine of Eric Lambert. And nice and smooth. AJ Stravato stays out. Reggie Ortega onto pit lane as well, keeping an eye on other drivers. Garrett Wolfenbarger, he's on pit road at the moment. So the 20 of Joey Mines, they've made their pit stops. Joshua Abbey onto pit road. That
Looks like
leaves
AJ
us-
will be trying to do an overcut.
Yeah, that leaves us with 6 drivers yet to pit. Here he comes. And there goes Ryan Gemmel, gonna unlap himself. Currently 10th position. We'll see where he comes out. There is Zach Carr coming off of pit road. Ryan Gemmel drives right on by. Also, Keith Mayato is going to be in front of him. Also, Dennis Faircloth going to be in front of him. And maybe even James Loveland. No, I don't think James will get to him. Or it'll be very, very close between those two. But Ryan Gemmel is going to have about 3 or 4 seconds at least on Zach Carr. And even with those fresher tires for Zach, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make that up. Alan Dice bringing it down from the race lead. Angelo Ronis, he'll stay on the track. And Timmy Emanuele will bring it in. So Angelo, the only driver yet to pit. Right on board here with Zach Carr. You can see Ryan Gemmel way off in the distance. Take a look at the lap times. About 0.6 faster last time around for Zach. And he is 4 seconds, almost exactly 4 seconds behind Ryan Gemmel. If I'm Ryan, I might be more worried about Keith than I am about Zach. I mean, Keith with the lap fresher tires, and he is not too far behind. Those two can't battle very long, though, if they want to beat the 27. Here comes Angelo Ronis, hard onto the pit lane, locks him up. He'll surrender the race lead to Gemmel. Not many laps remaining, less than 20 to go.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how much further after Zach Carr pitted than the 6 car and the 36 car, but they got a healthy 3-second lead right now, and if they can really hold on to that, it will definitely help them. And Zach Carr's going to have to get by this 80 car of Dennis Faircloth as well, so maybe there's a little bit of a spotter talking. Hey, can you hold up Zach for us a little bit? Pull up a Ross Chastain on him.
Yeah, the 80 is going to get out of the way, though. I think Dennis on much older tires, he's about 10 lap older tires, just not going to be able to compete. Meanwhile, Mayato just 4 lap older tires than Zach, and Gemmel 5 lap older tires, but you can see that he is still picking up time pretty well. That time around 0.6 faster than Gemmel, about 0.4 faster than Mayato, so he continues at this pace. He will get there. Matter of making the pass, though, when he does eventually arrive.
You can also see just how much time AJ Stravato lost on pitting 1 lap later. He's about 5 seconds behind that car when he was originally only about 3 seconds behind first coming down pit road.
Yeah, and Zach just had, I think, like a perfect exchange on pit road. I'm trying to take a look at the time here. 39-second flat, but he must have had a really good entry and outlap, because AJ and Reggie were only a tenth or so slower each. Just it's hard to see where he made up the 5 seconds, but it must have just been on those the outlap and inlap. Just absolutely flying as Mayato has caught Ryan Gemmel and has not been able to make the pass. He was almost able to last time around, and he's just 2 car lengths behind the 6 now. Gemmel looking for his first victory here in a couple seasons, and he sees that 27 car getting bigger and bigger in his mirror. I think Zach now with the benefit of the draft. Mayato right there behind. He's trying to find a way around. He knows that if he gets past Ryan, he could stand a chance to maybe hold off the 27. But look at this, Zach just diving it down into turn 1. Closes up about 4 car lengths right there. Just that corner alone. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, those fresher tires are really coming into play right now, and maybe we'll see something with the draft slow up the 27 car, but we really haven't seen anything slow him down tonight.
He's got those fresher tires. He's trying to make good use of them as the battle for the lead. Ryan Gemmel and Keith Maotto, maybe a little contact right there. The 27, he's going to go to the bottom. 3 wide, takes the lead away as teammates bumping there, trying to battle it out. Cost themselves the opportunity. Zach Card back to the point. And with right around 10 laps to go, fresher tires and driving away, it's all but over for that 27. He's got this race in his hands. And barring anything ridiculous happening, maybe a yellow flag, don't know if anyone's got tires saved up anyways to really, change the outcome of this thing. He's got this thing won. No mistakes from here on out, and be a fantastic performance from that 27. How about Seth Hatchell back here, racing it up with AJ Stravato, Dennis Faircloth, trying to battle for that top 5 position. AJ with 5-lap fresher tires, though, he's going to probably be able to get on by the 8. And a great run, a quiet run from James Loveland, who started 14th, up here in 4th. Kind of doing what he does best, and that is just going to work and coming away with a really strong finish at the end. Reggie Ortega back here, he's gotten passed up by the 33. Zach Smith, he's still up here in the top 10.
A lot of great runs from a lot of drivers you don't see as much as in the top 10. People like James Loveland and whatnot, they're making some great runs tonight, maybe showing that they might be contenders for this season.
Yeah, and another driver to point out, Safe Ferris, he has had a really good recovery after the speeding penalty in stage 1. He's now up to 13th, just got around Nick Alves. Joshua Abbey, who started in the top 10, he's been here in the top 15 for most of this race. And now battling back here, Nick Starling, Alan Dice. Nick on really old tires. He pitted 31 laps ago. He is losing ground now, 18th position. Bradley Wilson right here, battling hard with the 57. Allen through the dirt. And look at this battle up here, just outside the top 5. It's Stravato, Ortega, and Hatchell trying to get that 5th position. Then Zach Smith just picked off the 30, or rather the 80 of Dennis Faircloth. So he'll move to 8th spot. 4-lap fresher tires, or about even tires with Seth Hatchell. That one car has been really good, at least on the short run.
Yeah, and he's not going to have to deal with as much traffic as he's been dealing with this whole race, so definitely a top 8 finish, and he might be able to close in on that 7 car and 6 car as well before the end of this race.
A really strong run from the 1. This is, I think this is the best race I've ever seen Zach run, and it feels good to see him up here in the top 10, and finally some good performance, some good luck on his side as well. As the battle for second, really not over. They've lost the lead, and Gemmel's been able to hang on to 2nd spot through all of that happened. I mean, Keith had the inside position on him and just couldn't complete the pass, and now they're still riding nose to tail. James Loveland losing a little bit of time. He's going to fall into the clutches of AJ Stravato, Reggie Ortega, and Seth Hatchell. See if he can hang on to 4th, but he is definitely faded here. You can see how tight he is coming out of turn 2. He's up against the wall. Yellow flag is out.
29 car, I think.
Caution for Clint Leatherwood. Is that right? Let's go take a look.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Leatherwood.
Yeah, involved with Josiah Vincent. And this could change everything. I don't know if anybody's got tires saved up, but if they do, they got to use them right now. This is Clint Leatherwood, the 29. Josiah Vincent, who's just outside the top 10, just gets down into him in turns 1 and 2 and trying to get off of him there. So that spins to 29 around. Nobody else involved. Yellow flag flies. I think this might take us to overtime.
I'm not too sure what drivers should do here, honestly. Like, obviously, fresh tires are going to be convenient, but if you're the only person to pit, you're going to lose 20-something spots. I think AJ might have the best tires out of everyone just because he did pit a little bit after the drivers in front of him, but he only has 1 lap fresher than Zach Carr. I really don't think, unless if Zach Carr makes a mistake, that anyone's going to have anything for him. He's had a great restart every single time he's been up front tonight, and he should be able to hold on to the win unless he makes a mistake.
Yeah, he's got a bit of a buffer too with Gemmel, Mayato, and Loveland between him and Stravato. And AJ, he's not going to be able to just go straight up attack the 27. He's got to get by those guys first, and then he's got to hope that maybe another yellow comes out. He might have a shot at it. The driver that this really helps, though, or a couple drivers, Safe Ferris, Joshua Abbey, and Alan Dice, they all have pretty fresh tires compared to about the next 5 or 6 cars in front of them. And they could all get up there into the top 10. Maybe have a shot at maybe even a top 5 before it's all said and done. Angelo Ronis, I think, has the freshest of anyone, but he's going to be restarting 19th. So he's got his work cut out for him, to say the least.
He'll maybe be able to get up to the top 10. It just depends on how many moves and how aggressive he wants to be here at the end of the race. But you're going to be seeing these drivers like that who are a little further back trying to get some points and maybe cause an incident of their own and give other drivers a shot. Make Zach Carr really work for this win tonight.
You know, it looks like Alex Pelican brought it down pit lane. Essentially right side tires only. It was an 11.4 second stop. So he could have the ability to run up there, maybe even up against the wall and grab a dozen or so spots before the end of this thing.
And I don't blame him for coming back down pit road. If you're one of the last drivers on the lead lap, what do you have to lose if you're going to pit? Might as well take 4 fresh tires or whatever you got and see what you can do with it.
I think Eric Lambert, he's getting some damage repaired here. I'm not sure if he's a lap down. It looks like he may still be on the lead lap, maybe the last car on the lead lap, so he's getting a little bit repaired while he can. Back off and away. I think we're going to be coming to the 1 to go this time, but we're going to go to a quick message from the sponsor of tonight's race before we head to overtime. Going to be a 2-lap shootout here. This is going to be overtime. Attempt number 1. We'll have to see how it goes. Zach Carr in control. He's got fresher tires than the next 3 cars behind him. And then AJ Stravato with 1 lap fresher rubber than the 27. But he's got to make his way through those guys. I just don't think he's going to have time. But you never know what can happen. It's not over till the checkered flag waves. And hopefully we get that here on this attempt. Unexpected caution for sure to shake things up here at the end. Some guys towards the rear of the lead lap going to take advantage. Pace car on the pit lane. Green flag back in the air. straight away goes Zach Carr. Really good restart. 3 car lengths out in front of Ryan Gemmel, who's going to try and drop down in front of his teammate Keith Mayato, and he does. So Gemmel trying to hang on to runner up. And here comes AJ Stravato. Really good run to the inside of Mayato. He's going to have a good opportunity to be on the podium, maybe even get to second, as Tate Fair is also making some moves farther back through 3 and 4. We get the white flag here. We're coming back no matter what, but look at this run from Ryan Gemmel. Really strong through 3 and 4. Can he get to the 27? Maybe give him the bumper. White flag in the air through 1 and 2. It's 2 car lengths. Zach Carr, Ryan Gemmel. Off of turn number 2. Gemmel still in the wake of the 27, but just not going to be close enough, I don't think. Zach Carr into 3 and 4. His teammate won last week. He's not here this week, so Zach says, I'll take over. Out of turn 4 here at Texas, Zach Carr is going to win the Shenandoah Shine 225. In a dominating performance, that 27 car, unbeatable, untouchable all race long. And what a drive from Zach. That is just incredible.
Really a great race from him. He just kept doing everything right, got the right strategy down, and didn't let things that threw a wrench in his plan possibly throw him off mentally or physically, and comes home with the win and led a lot of the laps tonight. Definitely led a majority of them.
Yeah, let's take a look at the final tally. 113 laps led. So very much so looking like his teammate last week, Jeremy Miller, and that level of domination. So big congratulations to the Car Racing Designs Chevy Camaro number 27. 27 of Zach Carr. 3rd starting position. He ends up with the victory here tonight. Race number 2 at Texas goes to Zach Carr. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break to talk to our top 3 finishers.
Welcome to V-Speed, your home for sim racing excitement, providing dramatic moments from iRacing and beyond. We offer broadcasting for leagues across iRacing and specialized packages to help grow your league and advertise your sponsors.
Shot at it, I think, and right now Stravato with that advantage. It's half a car length the difference between first and second going into turn 1. He gives the bumper to Connor Horn.
These two have gone all year to get to this point. Jacob Shorba drifting up the racetrack. They make contact. The 88 goes around. The 95 goes around. The 12 caught in it.
Our design team can help you create anything from paint schemes to sim rig parts with expertise in both 2D and 3D design with 3D printing capabilities. Looking to get into broadcasting yourself? We can help you design and operate custom overlays to make your stream look as professional as possible. Our team can create and manage custom merchandise sales for you and your team. Check out our shop to see what we have in stock and how we can create some awesome merch for you. Check out our race replays on YouTube or catch us live weekly on Twitch. Visit us at vspeedsim.com to see how we can help you on your iRacing journey.
Coming back to the racetrack now, I want to take a quick look at something that happened at the end of the race that we didn't quite announce. Keith Mayato ended up getting turned around here on the restart. Really good save up the racetrack he went, though, from about the 3rd or 4th spot. He ends up finishing in 15th. Meanwhile, Zach Carr was able to drive away for that race victory, and we're going to be pulling him up into the booth right now. Let's see. Grab him up here. Zach Carr, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
I have a copy.
Well, just one word for you, and that is domination. What a show tonight. 113 laps led, and you had a challenger late there in the going from Ryan Gemmel, but able to hold him off. How'd you get it done here tonight?
It's all about using that dirty air, man, especially at a track where it's full throttle on one corner and the other one's like, super tight. So, you just got to take the person's air away from behind you. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of tire saving involved in this race. I felt like in the first run of the race when I had the lead, I didn't think I was the best on tire saving after hearing people's numbers and stuff. Apparently I was, but even then I felt like I could have gotten more out of the tires. And I mean, that was the story of the whole night. I just couldn't figure out how to save the right front tire. But I mean, hey, we got the win from it, so.
Yeah, and race number 2, your teammate dominated last week. Now you dominate this week. You guys have got something going here and already locked into the playoffs. Does that take some weight off your shoulders here, having that be the case so early in the season?
Oh, definitely. I mean, compared to being in a situation, if I got put in a situation where I haven't won all season and we're coming to the last few weeks and I'm in a bad place in the points, then yeah, it definitely takes some weight off the shoulders in that aspect. But I know I'm going to be running up front, and I mean, I think, like I said last week, the 550 horsepower package at these tracks is not my strong suit. So getting a win here, it feels great.
Yeah, definitely should be a confidence booster, or confirming the speed that you've got here in this league. 113 laps led. We go to a completely different type of track in COTA next week. So how do you feel about going out there?
I feel like I'm very good at road courses, so I'm aiming for a top 3 for sure. COTA ran it earlier this year in some other races and finished top 3 every single race I did there. So one of the fastest cars on the track. So I'm very excited for next week.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see if you can go back to back here early on this season and be the first multi-time winner. But yeah, you win the race tonight after starting 3rd. You lead 113 laps on the way to victory, and really untouchable all race long. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Just my teammates, AJ, Reggie, Angelo. Those guys definitely a big help. And obviously Jeremy wasn't here tonight, but he'll be here next week. So big thanks to him. He always helps me out in practice and stuff. So just big thanks to my teammates.
Awesome, Zach. Well, congrats again. We'll see you next week right back here again in COTA.
All right. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you. That was your race winner, Zach Carr. Let's go to second place finisher. It's going to be Ryan Gemmel, and Zach, I believe you're with him.
Hey Ryan, this is Zach up in the V-Speed booth. Do you have a copy with me?
Yeah, I got you, Zach.
Great race tonight. You come back from finishing 41st, I believe, last week at Daytona to finishing 2nd this week. So a great turnaround and great momentum shifter. How are you feeling after tonight?
Man, it's hard not to be disappointed. First loser. It seems like I finished 2nd a lot, but I mean, after I missed last week, I wasn't able to take the green last week, so being able to rebound and come get a good points day, finish 2nd, I guess I'm pretty happy with it. I had a couple things not really go my way this evening that I think could have played out differently for me in the end, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I do see that you have a little bit of damage on your car tonight. Do you think that was a contributing factor to not being able to get by Zach Carr in a couple of those situations?
No, probably not more than just bad timing of cautions. That was really it. It seemed like every restart we got, I would fall back to like 5th for some reason. It's not like I was trying to do that, but I'd fall back to like 5th and then drive back up to 2nd and then be catching Zach, and we either come to green flag pits or get a caution or something. So I was never really able to actually reel him in. I feel like I might have been, just a hair quicker on the really long runs, but not that last one though, because he had like 5 lap pressure tires than me. So, but I mean, what are you gonna do? Take what you can get, I guess. Solid points day after getting no points last week, so move on.
And we're going to COTA next week, as you do mention moving on. How do you feel about COTA as a track? I know it's fairly new for a lot of us Cup drivers, and it's a lot different than what we're used to.
Yeah, I don't even own the track yet, so that should tell you all you need to know. I gotta get that and get some laps turned before next week, and hopefully we can have another good day next week. I'm not too fond of road courses, and especially in the Cup cars, so we'll see.
Well, best of luck to you next week, Ryan, and great finish again tonight. Is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Shout out to Shenandoah Shine for coming on board, sponsoring the race, sponsoring the series. Glad to have you guys. You guys up in the booth for doing a good job putting these on so everyone can watch. Shout out to all my V-Speed teammates and everyone that came out to watch tonight.
Well, thank you again, Ryan, and we look forward to talking to you in the future.
Yep, thanks.
All right, Ryan Gemmel, second place finisher. Let's go to third place now. That is AJ Stravato. AJ Stravato, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got me.
Yes, sir.
Well, AJ, you had fresher tires there at the end. Maybe an opportunity if things had fallen perfectly for you, but really good race, up from 19th to a podium finish here tonight. Give us a rundown of how things went for you here.
Yeah, we got a really bad qualifying effort. I don't know what it is. I just cannot figure out how to qualify. Between that and just getting off of work, getting off work late, I was at a little bit of a disadvantage, and this is not a good track, so just kind of had to figure everything out on the fly. Had a lot of fun going through the field. I definitely was not the quickest. I think Zach and a couple others were, a little bit quicker throughout stretches of the run, but we were just able to use good, fuel saving and just how to use the bumper a little bit. Have to race people how they raced me, but it was all in all fun. I think third was about where we were speed wise. So just to bring home a third after last week's start is pretty good. I'll take it.
Yeah, and definitely a pretty, a solid rebound for sure. I know you were disappointed with the way things wrapped up last week at Daytona. Third place here tonight. We go to Coda, though. I know you're pretty good at those road courses. How are you feeling about going out there?
I got to worry about I think Zach and Keith are going to be a little bit quicker. I think Keith and I were about decently same pace in another league that we run together, but Zach is my buddy, and I know how quick he is on road courses. I don't know what it is, but I know he's quick on the road side of things with road cars. I don't know what it is, but on the Cup side of things, he's on another level. So I think we all are going to be chasing him, man. It's going to be pretty hard to keep up with him, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. Road courses is, I think, one of my stronger suits, so where I can at least, scale out a top 5, but we'll see. Definitely got to work hard for that win, though.
Yeah, I know you've been doing those endurance races, so hopefully some of that's starting to pay off for you here on this side, and we look forward to see if you can get your first victory of the season next week. But third place will have to do for tonight. Started 19th, you do lead a lap, get that bonus point. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Obviously yourself, Adam, and Zach. You guys do a great job in the broadcast booth. V-Speed, below the double yellow. All the sponsors. Let's make this happen. Shenandoah Shine. Cool to have them on board as well. And like I said, all the sponsors that make it happen. And all my teammates, a lot of fun, obviously, hanging out in the Discord wall, racing pretty competitively. And shout out to Zach for winning. Pretty cool to see him come in here and do so well. He's one of my buddies and extremely quick, so good to see him do well.
Yeah, and great performance from you out there tonight. Definitely fun to see you racing it up with these guys all night long, and we'll catch you next week.
All right, brother. Sounds good. Looking forward to talking to you guys.
All right. That was AJ Stravato, third place finisher. And, he's got some competitors here this season. The champion from 2 seasons ago, he's got some stiff competition. That 27 car is going to be a tough car to beat each and every week. And he does come out on top here tonight. Let's take a look at the rest of the results in the race rundown. 4 cautions, 14 total lead changes. And Zach Carr dominated with 113 laps led to take the victory. Ryan Gemmel, second place in tonight's race. A good run from him. AJ Stravato, third. James Loveland able to hold on to fourth. Reggie Ortega rounding out the top 5. Good performance. 2 strong races in a row for Reggie to open things up. Seth Hatchell ends up 6th. Good race for him. Anthony Pelican, 7th. Dennis Faircloth, 8th. Josiah Vincent, 9th. And Alan Dice rounding out the top 10. In 11th position tonight, it was Safe Ferris. 12th was Michael Newman. 13th, Bradley Wilson. 14th, Angelo Ronas. 15th, Keith Mayato. 16th, Zach Smith. 17th, Joshua Abbey. 18th, Nick Starling. 19th, Nick Alves. Rounding out the top 20, it was Timmy Emanuele. 21st position, Cody Adkins. 22nd, Garrett Wolfenbarger. 23rd, Mark Beverly. 24th was Lyle Sulfridge. 25th, Joey Mines. 26th, Alex Pelican. 27th, Eric Lambert. 28th, Jacob Houston. 29th, Dennis Steele. Rounding out the top 30 in tonight's race, Nick Gardner. In 31st position, it was Lane Sulfridge. 32nd, Quentin Leatherwood. 33rd, Brett Sommers. 34th, Dallas Sullivan. 35th, Jeremiah Vincent. 36th, Chris Samard. 37th, Tony Baird. And rounding out the field here tonight, Eric Hutton, who will look to rebound next week at COTA. Really solid road racer as well. We'll see what he can do out there. But 38 drivers in tonight's race here in the Shenandoah Shine 225. A great and exciting race. And the number 27 comes out on top. Zach, any final thoughts before we head on out?
No, just a great race, and I was very surprised about how good it was, and I look forward to next week.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to staying here in Texas and headed to a road course next, which is always a wild card, and it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top there. But tonight, Zach Carr winning in the Shenandoah Shine 225. Want to thank Shenandoah Shine for sponsoring the series as well as tonight's race. You can check out more info on them in the description below in the video. You can find them on Twitter, Facebook, at Shenandoah Shine, and they offer some awesome products and services, so check them out, Shenandoah Shine. And you can check us out at all these different social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, where we post race announcements before we go live and throughout the week to let you know what we're up to. You can also check us out tomorrow night right back here on YouTube with the Virtual Racing League from Watkins Glen, and that should be a lot of fun. So until next time, have a great night.